Hi, today I'm going to share on why it's important to create a brand to attract the right people to represent that organization so you can create longevity in your organization and be successful for years to come. Tune in. Good morning. Thank you for joining me, Coach Michael, on your Monday morning. I want to share an experience I had more than a decade ago. I was a new coach, and there was a company in our immediate area that was almost 100 years old. They're in the music industry, a pioneer out of New York. And as a coach, being curious in how to learn, I believe success leaves clues. So I'm going to visit this place because I'm going to learn some things. I visited this store in Coconut Creek, Florida. Walked in the front door, and the manager was sitting at the entranceway at the desk with his feet on the desk, on the phone, and didn't even acknowledge me. Okay, well, that's interesting. And then being a music store, they have a special room for wooden guitars. I'm a cigar smoker, so kind of like a humidor for cigars, it's a humidor for guitars. And I walked in, and this young lady was working there, and I asked her, tell me more about this, and what's your qualifications to be working in this particular part of this store? She goes, well, I know what I'm doing. Ooh, sorry to ask any questions. So that conversation didn't last that long. And then I walked out on the floor where the sales guy was there, and I started talking to him. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, this company's been around for 90 years. It's a pioneer in the music industry. I mean, you must be so proud to be representing this brand. Why is it that you want to work for this company? He goes, I needed a job. Holy crap. 3 for 3, and they struck out. So as a new coach, I left bewildered because there was definitely no clues of success in that organization. And I had a conversation with my coach about it. She goes, well, did you call the head office? I'm like, no, they've been around for 90 years. I've been a coach for a year and a half. What do I know? She goes, you need to make the call. It took me 2.5 months to get the courage to have the call. I finally spoke to one of the people at the head office, second in line because the originator passed away. And I told him about my experience. He goes, oh, yeah, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you going to do? He goes, listen, this is probably the answer you don't want to hear, but sometimes finding the right people is difficult. So sometimes you just got to fill a spot, and you just got to hire who you can. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're a pioneer in the music industry. You've been around for almost 100 years, and your strategy to represent your brand and find the right people is to fill a spot and hire fast? He was silent. So I'm fast forwarding. The name of that company was Sam Ash. They were established in New York City in 1924. They had 42 stores in 16 states. I was never able to get to the next step with this organization. They didn't want to pursue any type of training or coaching. So that was a conversation that ended 10 years ago. But Sam Ash in 2024 in May filed for Chapter 11 after 100 years in business. And there was an auction in June 20th this year of where a Mexican-based retailer came in and bought them at the auction for $15.2 million. I share this story because I didn't know they filed it for Chapter 11, and I didn't know the assets were bought. A client of mine told me, because when I told him the story about what happened 10 years ago, he goes, oh, Coach, Sam Ash should have engaged with you 10 years ago. Did you know that they're going out of business? I share this story. I went to find answers, and the answers I found were not the right answers I was looking for. They've been around for so long, they really lost sight of what they were all about. I'm sure they had a lot of reasons and a lot of excuses of why they couldn't represent the brand or find the right people, whatever it may have been. But because of that, now some Mexican company has bought the assets for $15.2 million at an auction. So I hope you will take this as a message that get clear on your organization's brand, the culture, and understand that people don't get hired or fired. They either qualify or disqualify from representing your brand and culture. And if any of you have a challenge with addressing these issues in your organization, please reach out and give me a call, because this is where I specialize of aligning teams, building leaders, and helping grow the bottom line through all the above. So hopefully today has not only been valuable, but comes at a little bit of a warning sign on what to do and what not to do in business. Thank you for joining me, Coach Michael, on your Monday morning. As always, I want to wish you a productive, profitable week. Go get them. See you next Monday. Be well.